Fun fact, paternity tests, which are used to confirm a man is the biological father of his child, are illegal in France. And if a father is caught using a paternity test in France or in any other country, he could face up to a year in jail and a $16,000 fine. In 1994, France banned DNA testing because it had the potential to break up too many families. Even today, at-home DNA tests like 23andMe are banned in France. Because in France, 5 out of 10 men and 4 out of 10 women admit to cheating on their partner. And culturally, the attitude towards cheating is quite relaxed. So the government worried that allowing DNA tests to be conducted freely would unnecessarily tear apart too many families, saying the law preserves the peace of families. And the only way to get a legal paternity test in France is if it's ordered by a judge.
And I thought America was bad. Maybe they should try and fix the cultural cheating problem they have that leads to paternity fraud, rather than protecting the mother and punishing the man who's being lied to.
Is it possible that
I influenced her to try and get me for $20,000 a month for a 2-year-old? No.
Is it yeah.
No. We never spent $20,000 on my daughter when we were together. Mm-hmm. And I had the money.
Yeah, but now
I don't like, who spends that kind of money on a kid? Mm-hmm. She was 1 when she took my baby from me. We never spent $20,000 a month on our child, and the credit card was wide open. So what the fuck do you suddenly need that kind of money for?
You changed the quality of life.
I was going to say the exact same
What
thing.
happened?
Like
No,
the quality of life.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
Do you don't wait, Ish? You don't think that the quality of her life changed simply by entering his existence and his orbit?
So because she entered his orbit, she is now entitled to $20,000 a month. These people are crazy.
Did you hear what he said first?
Yeah.
He said
he never spent that.
During the same quality of life, you did not spend $20,000 in 1 month.
And she never became
with an open credit card. So the $20,000 a month, you can it's not changing the quality of life. Right. He's saying with the high quality of life that we had, we didn't spend 20 bands. So now, why is $20,000 a month needed if we never spent that?
He also said,
and she also complained every step of the way about spending or overspending.
He also said, and I had it, and we never did that.
True.
Okay, but now the person that had it is gone.
The person who had the ability to fund that lifestyle is now gone because she chose to divorce him right after having a kid with him in the hopes that she could drain him for as much money as she could.
You pivoted, but go ahead.
How?
No,
the expenses are the expenses. The expenses are the expenses. He's saying, if let's say
I never spent $20,000 on her a month.
Yeah.
Let alone the child.
But she's not living with it. Everything changes.
But it's not that number that changes the quality of life. You changed it.
No. She changed it. She left me and my life with her.
Yes.
It does not work that way.
That's exactly how it works.
We have a prenuptial agreement that was extremely aggressive and very detailed.
Okay.
And we both gladly signed it because I was...
This is the first time I've ever seen men actively defend a woman who's clearly financially abusing her ex-husband for a lifestyle, using the kid as the shield to get it. Also, if you need $20,000 a month to raise a kid, you shouldn't have custody. But since the state gets a cut of the child support, they would rather put him on child support than do the right thing.
I am not for mandatory paternity testing, but I am against men being forced to father children that aren't theirs. And the following story is wild. Gypsy Rose Blanchard married her husband Ryan while incarcerated. In December, Gypsy was released. In March, they split, and in April, she filed for divorce. In May, she confirmed that she was back together with her ex-fiance, Ken. Then last week, Gypsy announced that she was 11 weeks pregnant with Ken's child. This would put the date of conception around April, the same month that she filed for divorce. And this is where it gets interesting. testing. According to People magazine, as stated in Louisiana law, if the mother is married to someone other than the biological father when the child was conceived or has been divorced for less than 300 days at the time of birth, the husband/ex-husband shall be the presumed father, unless paternity is established for the biological father. With this law in place, the only way that Ken's name will go on the birth certificate is if Ryan signs an affidavit that Ken is the father. If he doesn't, and Ken wants his name on the birth certificate, he will have to file a motion with the courts, and the courts will make all three of them take a DNA test to determine the father. This is called marital presumption of paternity, and it's not just in Louisiana. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, all of my friends who prioritized having kids in their 20s are all now single moms at 40 and divorced. I got so many of these comments on my last video, so I'm going to touch on it now. Disregarding exceptional reasons such as real abuse, the fact is 80% of women are the ones ending marriages, 90% if they have a degree. Now, I've known about this statistic way before Jordan Peterson started popping off, and unfortunately it was due to my own research because I saw how many of my female friends were leaving their husbands. I'm very tired of this victim mentality that has manifested within the female realm. It is hard for me to have empathy for single divorced moms when 90% of the time they are at fault for it. It is completely self-inflicted. I'm also coming from a place of self-critique because, believe it or not, just like every woman in America, I have succumbed to some of those thoughts. But we listen to social media and mass media and we tell ourselves that there's someone else there that's going to treat us even better, and we neglect the other party, which is our husbands, and then all the children that are involved as well. Oh, but let's not forget the vows you took. You cannot discredit my theory of prioritizing a family first and then working on a career, all because you have women that fall in that 90% category that left their husbands. Now just wait for this comment section to blow up on all the women that tell me they are the exception, that 90% are leaving because the men are so terrible.
Women are way less committed to relationships than men. And this is why marriages are falling apart. But we're not allowed to say that. Seatbelts on. Buckle up. I will say it again. Women are less committed to relationships than men. Roughly 70% of divorces are initiated by women. They are willing to throw the towel in sooner. Feminazis will try to convince you that women do this because of men. Because for them, the equation is always men equals evil. Now, imagine if we took men out of the equation entirely. Oh wait, we don't have to imagine that at all. We have that data. We have the divorce rates for lesbian couples. Lesbians have the highest divorce rates in the country. It turns out that if you have twice the women in a relationship, you also have twice the chance of divorce. You couldn't write it if you tried. Oh, there you go.
This comment right here, I really don't think that he's speaking for all men, because I know that there will be somebody that steps up one day to be some sort of father figure for my child. It's also very, I'm very surprised that you felt comfortable actually typing this out and commenting on someone's video. It's just the wildest thing. You don't know my circumstances with my child, or his father. Yeah, we don't care.
If you enjoyed this video, I promise you'll enjoy this next video. I will see you there.